All right, I'm about to go head over to this driver's meeting and try to warm up inside this building. We got all the fast Hondas and stuff over here on that side. And we got the BMW crew right here. These boys is fast. And I don't know who's in the beginner class, but I'm about to find out right here. Yeah, these cats, they don't play. These guys over here, they fast. Yeah, I got a long way to go before I get to hang out with those cats. But mostly all the fast people is over here. I don't know where the slow guys are. Guess I won't know until I get on the track. But these are some cool cars, boy. Definitely that one right, that Skyline right there, that thing is off the chain. You know that thing is fast. But it look like the meeting actually ain't gonna start for another 10-15 minutes.
Good morning. Well, I have those for beginners, and then if you have them, if you're intermediate or advanced, you go to your first meeting, there's the second meeting to go to. Yeah. All right. So this is Alex. He's going to teach you and show you all the safety and information that you need. I have Steve right there. He's going to be the lead instructor for so he will show you, please follow what to work on, what to look about, or what to learn about, how you choose your car and stuff like that. And then I'll have other instructors do themselves. And I have two people sign up for private instruction. Who is two? One, two. Two. We'll talk to you guys about it a little later after the meeting.
Welcome. Good morning, everybody. How many of us are first time track? Oh, we got it all. We got a few. Okay, good. How many of you have never been to Bundalo before? Awesome. Good. So I'm going to start off by saying, if you've looked at our schedule, you'll see that we have everything spaced out into different sessions. We do stick to the schedule, meaning that if a session gets delayed or it's early for any reason, we will not be extending that session's time because that would eat into other people's time and other people's sessions. So we want to be fair to all of the drivers, regardless of whether there's an incident or not. So please keep in mind that if something happens on track and then you close the session for that time, that session will just begin at that time. There is a possibility that we can let you back out if it's a quick event, but just keep that in mind. We do tend to actually stick to the schedule that we have listed. On that note, it's very cold out this morning. The cars are cold, the track is cold. Please chill for the first couple of laps of the first session. Let everything warm up, get used to it. We do not want to have any incidents on our first couple of laps in our first session. We want everybody to have as much track time as possible. And if you go off and you make a delay for somebody, that's not fair to everybody. So please keep in mind, it's cold out, and we want to have everything be safe. In your first session, your first lap out is going to be yellow. Meaning to just calm down, chill behind everybody, no overtaking, and then once you come back to the finish, that's when you go down so keep that in mind, as well as when we are at the end of the session, when the checker flag goes down, we do not do a cool down lap. When the checker goes down, you come in as soon as you can. We call the checker pretty close to when the end of your session is. So if you go into a cool down lap, you might need to delay the next session by 2 minutes waiting for you to come in. So please just come in. If you need to do a cool down lap, there's plenty of room in the paddock here, and you can park around. The speed limit here in the paddock is 15 miles an hour. Please keep it under that. There are kids, there are children, there are dogs. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of stuff going on, so we don't want to be racing here or in rough. Furthermore, if you do have an incident on track, you end up going off or something happens, please do not get out of your car unless it is on fire or actually going to hurt or kill you. If you get out of the car and you're looking around, just as a damage, you can't send medical up to you. You can't help, you can't send a tow truck. That is not a liability for everybody, the staff, whether the drivers and yourself. So please, unless it is a danger to yourself or others, do not get out of the car. We will come get you.
One question. So what happens if I think my car has problems?
If you think your car has problems, please just come in. Just come in,
If you
talk to
think
us.
you need to check the car, please come back over here. We'll have that stop to look around for you, or you can get get out of the car, at least over here is safer. So do not stop outside to check out your car if you think like maybe a bumper falling off or something like that. Unless we tell you to do so, which we're gonna explain later.
Black
Go over
flag.
everything with the flags and all of that sort of stuff. But yes, if you do have the ability to go when you have an issue, just come into your parking lot and stop once you're safely in, and throw it back into the pad.
Wait, how many times?
Furthermore, there is no stopping on the track now, the red flag is flown, and there is absolutely no reversing on the track under any circumstances. You should never be going backwards on the track, no matter what. And like I said, the only time that you should stop is if your red flag is flown. There will be no burnouts when you're launching, please be respectful to our track staff, and that way you don't risk damaging yourself or the track. We've seen in the past where somebody gets a little bit lead foot, they burn out off the line and they go into the wall. And we don't want to see that today. We don't want anybody to have that sort of issue.
We got an S2000 today. S2000? No? No S2000? Alright, we had an incident before where someone brought an S2000. First session, first lap, a little bit too happy, too excited. Isn't right on the track. He did a little bit of burnout, he shooted it out, and before he could get on the track, he hit the wall. So let's not be that guy. Okay, so be careful, don't burn out. Take your time to get out. You see that the entrance right after the straight, there's an entrance like this. There's a turn to get into the track. So there's no point to speed up so fast in this switch on this straight to get onto the track. So there'll be a turn. So don't burn out, take your time, get out, then you can start back faster. Okay?
And when entering the track, please be mindful of cars around you. There will be cars coming past, there will be cars on track when you are joining. So just keep in mind that if you're joining the active track, it is your responsibility to enter the track safely. So please keep that in mind when entering. If you are out of track, again, it's cold out today, so the track is cold, tires are cold. Please do not intentionally drift. I know it might seem fun, it might seem, oh, I'm going to warm the tires up, but it's wet out, it's muddy out. It's possible that if you go off the track, you're going to get stuck. So the less we can avoid the possibility of anybody going off track, or spinning out, or damaging yourself or other cars is advantageous to everybody. That just focus on
All right, thank you, Dale. So is everybody excited to be here?
Yes.
Well, we're excited to have you here. So the first thing is today. You know, there's a number of tracks events that take place around the state. You know, you had a choice which track event you were going to, and you chose to appreciate that. And our goals for the day are three major goals. One is, as Alex is highlighting, safety. So everybody who wants their cars, I'm sure, and you want to take it home in the same condition that you brought it in this morning. Closely following that is have fun. So, you know, you've invested in this day, we want you to have a great time, we want you to enjoy it, we want you to build your confidence up, so at the end of it you go. It's kind of got to a point that this is addictive. If this is your first time on the track,
Yes.
it is. And the third thing is education. So our role is that when you leave here, we want you to go, I've learned a lot about car control, I've learned a lot about the track, a lot about my own driving style, and you know, things that you can build up for the future. So how many people here have never been on a track before? Okay, so very good track. Yeah, great. Well, congratulations. You're warning on the addictiveness of this. How many are new to Buttonwillow? How many's never been on Buttonwillow before? Anybody here has been on Buttonwillow before? Okay. So you've been here. How many times have you been here? Two, one. Okay. All right. So this is a new experience for us. Even if you've been on the track Buttonwillow, but it's unique attributes to it as well. So our goal during the day is to be a resource to you, whether you're a lead or you've got private instruction. We want you to have a great time. So if you've got any questions during the day, don't hesitate. Okay? All the instructors here, we've all been in your first beginning meeting, and it's a little overwhelming. You know, some of you got a little anxious. We're happy to heat up. So just relax. As I mentioned, the track's cold, the car's cold, but we're cold as well. So just relax, try and questions at this point? Okay. So, what we're talking about flags, making the flags report very, very important. Because that's the only way we can we use cell phones, we use access, we're out there, there's no way for anyone to communicate with you other than through these flags. And there's a lot of cars going something going at high speed, so it's the importance of that communication is important. So, when you signed up, we got the schedule, there was a little thing about the flags. If you had opportunity to go through those and have a lesson, that was good. If not, we're going to go through the answers, so no problem. Does anybody feel like they really got the flag? Okay, and that's fine, because that's part of why we're here. So that get your questions answered. So we're going to go through the flags. And tell me, what does it mean when you see a certain flag? As you go around the track, you'll see what the flag stations. Now, there's a bunch of them around the track, but they won't all have somebody at that station with the flags. Okay? So, one of the things we've got to do the first time out as we drive around is work out which stations are mapped. Because that's where our communication is going to come to. Okay? The other thing is when you go out, I would suggest that you just give a little wave and go right over the station. It does two things. Because one is it tells them that they know that you know that they're there. So they can relax a bit when you come down there. And it also cements in your mind, okay, there's a flag station here. The flag station here is not now. Okay? We'll kind of talk a little bit why that's important and what's now and what is not. Any questions on that? Okay, so let's go through the three are the easiest to kind of get nowadays of these three because it's the traffic lights. Okay, so 3 means
Go.
go. Yeah. So 3 means the track is over, it's marked, or whatever speed we're riding, so it will go and pull out. 3 means everything's a go. Okay. Red is stop. That means everything's not a go. That means something happened on the track, but we need to stop around the track. Okay. But we need to do that in a safe manner. So the same as you pull up a red traffic light, you will go in there and the red comes up and you weren't paying attention to the or whatever. You don't just slam on. You don't know, it's a situational awareness around you. So the same thing when you see this. What this is telling you is there was an incident on the track, something significant, and we need to get the cars out of the driving line. We need to stop it. So if you see this being waved, first thing to do, keep your mirror up, make sure there's not somebody right behind you. Why might we want to do that first thing? Yeah, because they might not have seen the red flag. They're oblivious. They've taken note of the flag station, and all of a sudden you stand and brake. So look in the mirror, and then you've got to judge, okay, if they're way back, you're fine. If they're close, then slow down gradually. But slow down fairly quickly if there's nobody in white lane. And pull over to the side of the track. Okay? Just pull over to either side of the track. The side of the track, not off the track. Okay? This is really clay soil out here. It's really muddy. So in the summer, it's very dusty on the track. Maybe dust. In the winter, when it's wet, you can get stuck in it. You get a whole bunch of traffic, you get tires, so you don't want to get off track. Yes, question.
If the significant thing that happened on the track is right in front of you, and you can't brake, can you swerve around? Or just go off the track slowly or something like that?
Yeah, if you've got an incident right in front of you, you've got to do, you've got to make good judgment of what you need to do. And if that includes going off the track, then go off the track. If you go off the track for any reason, just go straight. Okay? Don't try and wrestle it back. ever works. Because as you get back on the track, you've got two wheels here with traction, these two don't have traction, and the cars spin around and go across the track, which could be an obstacle for somebody else or pull you to the wall. You go straight, let things settle down, then you can just come back on. Okay. The other thing here is because it's very plain, if you're wrestling, you try and get it back, you go in sideways, you can actually hit the car. So, if you go off the track, the tendency is they go off the track, they get back on the track. So you've got to fight that impulse, just go down, come off the track, just go straight, slow down. Okay. Red flags. So, yes. Yeah. So as you pull over to the side of the track, you want to do somewhere where it's safe. Okay. So there's a couple of hills here. If you see a red flag and the guy on the top of the hill is doing this, you don't want to go, okay, I'm going to pull in right up to the top of the hill and park on the track. You will see that happen. Because someone's going to come over that hill, again, they might not see the red flag. They go over the hill and then you're parked right on the track. It's not going to end well. So be aware of that. The other thing you want to be aware of is as you slow down and park up the side of the track, do it within the sight of the next flag station. Okay. Now why do you think that's important? Yeah. Because this is the only form of communication. So they pull over, you're parked, how do you know what's going on? Okay. After you see this one, what you'll probably see is this one, which is the black flag at all stations, which means we're all coming off the track. Okay. The reason we're parked up on the side of the track with this one is there's going to be an emergency vehicle coming out of the track. We want them to be able to just get to where they need to get to, not have to navigate and get around vehicles. Make sense? Any questions on that? The other one is yellow, which is slow down. And it's the same on the track. What that means is that something's happened on the track. Maybe somebody's spun out and they're stopped on the track. It could be a variety of things. What this means is slow down. You don't know what's around the next corner. So you're going to back off on your speed. You're going to be aware of looking for something unusual in there. If they're doing this, like this, that gives you an idea of the intensity of what they're doing with the flag. But if they're going like this, frantically, that means you're just about to come into a really difficult situation. You need to slow. Yeah. Question?
Yeah, when you slow down, how fast is it going to slow down? Or what's the...
It's a judgment, but you want to be well in control of your vehicle, like you could stop really quickly. Okay. So again, if you've got somebody right behind you, that doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to brake and slow down. You can make it reverse. No overtaking when the other flag's out. So you'll go by the obstacle, but there's no overtaking as long as the yellow flag is out. Now, if you go by the next flag station and they don't have the yellow out, what do you think that means? Good to go. Yeah. So if the yellow's out again, that means there may be another incident over there. If there isn't a yellow flag out, then you're good to go. But you've got to make sure you're looking at a manned flag station. You've got a flag station with no yellow flag because there's nobody there, but the incident's still further on. Okay? If you've got a full course yellow, then everything's over down through the whole course. No overtaking on the yellow. Any questions on that? All right. Go back to the black. So black, what do you think black means? Anybody know what black means? Yeah. Yeah, it could be you personally on track, or it could be everybody. So if this is an order station, black, that means everybody's coming in, for whatever reason, okay? And we all come in, we slow down, we'll come off the track. If you're going along and you're going over by a flag station and they're like this, that means you did something that they thought could be dangerous or inappropriate. They've got some concerns about what you're doing. You may have put a couple of wheels off. You've you know, and then the next time they're tapping it again. So that's the black flag. The other thing, you've got a question?
And the intermediate group I just joined, don't they wrap it up and point it at you
Yeah.
if it's specifically you?
Good question, great time. So the other use of this is they'll do like this fold, and they might go like this when you go by. Okay, so if you see that it's not this, that means come in. If you see it kind of furled out like this, it means they saw you do something that wasn't cool. And they don't want you to do that again. Well, what they're saying is you don't have to come in, but and if you don't know what you did, then you can come in. You can always come in. They like, oh, black flag, I don't know what I did wrong. You know, that's fine. Coming in on the black flag is not being like you're in a bunch of trouble. It's an education process. So they saw something that concerned them about your safety, and they just want to talk to you about it. And then they'll talk to you about it. You know what you did wrong. If you put two wheels up, then I ask you, do you know what you did wrong? Yeah, I came in too hot. I didn't brake earlier. Okay, so now you know when brake, go out again. Okay? So don't worry about the black flag. It's not the end of the world. This is a bigger one. They're all the same size, aren't they? This one, anybody know what this is? What this means? Okay, they call this the meatball flag. Okay, this means there's something wrong with your vehicle. Okay, and you need to come in. So it's the same as like the black flag, but the reason they're telling you is because there's something wrong with your vehicle. Now it could be your the catch for your hood is not locked down. You see a gap there. It could be that your fuel cuts. It could be there's something hanging down off the back of your vehicle, or whatever it is. You're blowing a bunch of smoke out. So this is one you just come in down here, and I'll talk to you about that. But there's something wrong with your vehicle. If something's really wrong with your vehicle, and you have to lose power in the car, then follow the side of the track. That's where the yellow flag. Everybody's talking to everybody at these stations. Look, okay, you've got a car, it's stopped. This area, yellow flag. Okay, and then they'll pull it. If you can't run, you can go around slowly. Okay, just keep off the racing line, which you'll learn as you go through the day. Any questions on that? Okay. There's two other ones. that we can talk
17.
about. This one, anybody know what this is?
Let someone pass you.
Yeah, so this means somebody's coming up behind you that's going faster than you are. And you need to let them go. Doesn't mean pull over, you know, drastically, let them go. Like a police going down the road where everybody, you know, pulls over and lets them go. It's just someone's faster and you should let them go. Now they may not be faster on the straight, they may be faster on the corners. So, yeah, again, this isn't a race. And so if someone's faster than you in a certain section and you see this, when it's safe to do so, give them a point line. If they're going like this, it means this, and this probably isn't appropriate for today for beginners, but these flags are the same, they're going to follow you for years. It's the same principle. If someone's doing that and someone's coming up really fast behind you, I need to be aware of it. Because at some track days you'll have a huge difference in the speed of vehicles. So if you see someone like this, you know, they can come up very quickly. Okay. Any questions on this? If you see this and you kind of carry on the racing line, this doesn't mean pull over. Okay. It does not mean pull over. It means carry on the racing line. It's their job to get by you safely. And they want to know where you're going. You've got to be predictable. So if you stay on the racing line, they know where you're going, they can go over here. Someone's coming up behind you, you go, oh, someone's there, and you pull over, that might be exactly where they're going to go to pass you.
Don't you have to point them by or no?
Well, we're going to do point lines today, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But these principles, again, you know, are true throughout, you know, any track that you go to. Any questions on that? This one, anybody know what this one is?
Oh, never seen that.
Right? The green on track? The green on track, yeah. There's something on the track that is, you need to be cautious about. It may got this, we go around the corner, there's a fox on the side of the road, on the track. Okay, so you see that, you go around. When you go around again, they won't be showing you this flag. Because you've gone round and they're going to assume that you know that now has become part of the track. Okay? So if you go around and you see this again, that means there's something else. There's another rabbit on the other side. Something. Okay? Any questions on that? Anybody overwhelmed? Good. And this is the easiest one. This
This is over.
yeah.
Come in.
Off the track. If you see this, you might, I don't think they're using the white flag. Sometimes they're using white flag.
The left.
Okay. I don't know if they use that today, but this is you're off the track. Wherever you see this on the track, that means you're coming in as soon as the next opportunity to come in. So you might see it here, the main station, which is probably where you think it is, the start finish line. You might see it here. You might see it earlier on in the track, which means to come off before you go through here. Okay? Because as Alex mentioned earlier, there's a time limit. So if you go and do another lap now, everyone's delayed a couple of minutes. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. So those who put it on this, put it on this on the right. Emergency vehicle, which is, would be the red. Oh, yeah, there you go. I got my little one. So the British, yeah, I don't know if they use that one here or not.
He said that they do, but most likely they're not using it.
Okay. So, but if you see this in the future, Red Cross, it's easy to remember. You know, Red Cross. It's not like leaving an ambulance or a safety vehicle or a fire truck or something on the track.
They're taking your country, I think.
You don't need to stop for that now unless it's all red. That just means that you kind of be aware of it. If it's going really slow, you can go on.
So if you pass the exit, but you see the black and white flag,
Yeah.
you finish your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
If the first time you see it is here, that means you go around the entire track and then you come off the north area. If you see it before that, then don't wait to go through the start finish line. Alright. Let's just talk about this now. We can see this over here. This kind of shows you where we're going to end. So this is the straight out here. This is start finish line. Okay. So we're gonna join the track here. This is where this parking lot will be over there, and then we'll go out there and we'll line up, and then we'll go around here, and this is where we'll enter the track. Okay. So again, you're entering the track. It's like going down on joining the freeway. You want to just make sure there's nobody coming around this corner just as you enter. This is the exit. Is here.
Right there.
Okay, so that's on this up here. Before you get to the straight out here, there's an exit here. Okay, so if you see the
Checker
start
flag.
finish flag, and it's on over here or over here, that means you come in and go down there. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, I've got some maps here. Session is at 10. Everybody know that. You haven't got the schedule, and you need one. There's one here. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we've got still, but I'll give you plenty of time to come out.
24, 25.
So the other things we want to talk about is what I call point buy. Does anybody know what a point buy is?
Oh, you're gonna say it?
Yeah.
You just point, slow down a little bit, and then point which direction you want them to pass you on a straight on.
Yeah. So as you get more experience and in the advanced classes, you get very comfortable, and everybody out there on the track is very comfortable. You know, you kind of have a situational awareness, and people will pass people, and there's a understanding that someone's coming up fast, where I need to be, and I'm going to cut them off and all the rest of it. But in the beginners, and when we're starting out, we want to be able to communicate to people that, because we don't want someone cutting in on us on a call or something. It's too much going on. So what we have is a point line. We have certain sections of the track that are designated as safe to do a point line. Okay? A point line is basically, as you said, pointed in the direction that you want that car behind you to pass you. So you may have this. You may be on your own out there, so you want to let this guy by. So you're going to point. If you want him to pass on the left, point out. Not, little point, so he can see it very easily. If you want him to pass on the right, then go like that. Okay? We're going to have your windows down. So, and then, yeah.
So, I intended the intermediate just because my friends were there, but my window doesn't go down, but I have a convertible, so they said I can just point over and
Okay.
even if it's not out the window. Is that fine?
Yeah. I mean, what you want to do is just be able to communicate, use your good judgment and go, right, okay, I know all this guy to go by. Yeah.
It's not controversy, like, there's a low car, where they're blowing down the street, and then they always do the report.
So, so it's a good question. So the question you heard is, what if you've got a big disparity between horsepower? Someone's really fast on the straight and then someone's slower on the corners, okay? And maybe it's frustrating one or both, because you kind of catch him, he's right behind you at the end of the straight, but then you've got to get by him. I can't get by him because, So what you can do though is we're just going to get some room in there. Again, this is a learning environment here. So if you're up behind somebody and you've got the faster car, but this guy with his little cars behind you, he's all in the curve and he's right up behind you, just come in here, go off that lane, the exit here. Where are we? Here. Come in here, right down here, and as you get to where you would come in, if it was a black flag, just do this to the guy. What he realizes is you need some more room between you and this other guy. And then he'll wait, and then he'll go like, okay, go. And then you kind of just get rid of that. Either one, yeah. I mean, it's just a case of separating it, it's not a wrong or right thing. The reality is the guy who's probably got a high horsepower car is not as good as the driver who's going faster than them. So, but you don't need to get into who's better or who's quick, who's better drivers. You just want some space. Okay, any questions on that section? All right. Does anybody know what lead follow means? I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. Lead follow, and the reason we do lead follow at most tracks is it's a great way, particularly those that never been on button below. The track's a complete mystery to you. And it's very flat as well, button below, so you don't have an opportunity to kind of look and see where the bends are. Just right, no, we're going this way, no, we're going that way. So if you learn in this track, lead follow is a way of learning racing. Okay? So we're going to put you into groups, so those people want to do lead follow. And I would strongly, if you haven't been on this track before, I would strongly encourage you to do lead follow. Okay? So what that means is you'll have an instructor who will be driving the racing line, which is the quickest way around the track. Okay? You're not going to be driving at full speed or anything, just be going around the track. But that is the line that you take and follow. You can build up your speed. Okay? If you're not on that racing line, you're not going to be able to build up any speed. You can get that out of driving a car. You're not going to have the track. So that's the object of lead follow, is we're going to follow the lead, and they're going to drive around. But we're going to do that in groups. Okay, so we've got four instructors, and so you may have 4 cars, perhaps 4 or 5 cars in each group that are following the lead instructor. Okay, so things to remember there are, you're really one train together. Okay, the idea is
Will the cars be marked somehow for we to know which car is the instructor?
Great question. Will the car be marked? Yeah, the lead will have its flash.
Okay.
Okay. So all of it, your lead follows with the flash on. Okay. So you're going around this track, and you're following the lead. Now, if you come up behind, someone comes up behind you who isn't in a lead follow group, maybe they're just on their own, and they come up at the back, the lead driver, the instructor, is going to be aware of that. You can see my little group behind, I've got 5 cars, but there's another guy who's not behind me, he's quicker, and he's going to want to let that guy by. So he's going to do a point line out of his window, and everybody behind him in that lead follow group is going to do the same thing. So I do it, he does it, great. Okay. Then that guy knows that we're all pointing him by. He's going to have to pass all 5 of us. Okay. So we're going to have to kind of slow down, which will be the lead instructors. He's going to regulate that speed. But we're going to slow down and let this guy by. There's only 3 areas where we're going to be doing the point by. This area here, which is the straight out here, if you go around this corner, this section here, and again, there's some maps there if you want to familiarize this section here, and then this section over here, which is before the straight. Okay. Nowhere else on the track you're doing passing. Okay. That's whether you lead follow or if you're just on your own. Those are the only 3 sections that we're going to be doing point by. That makes sense? Any questions on that? Or what about this on that? Yeah, so if you're coming up behind somebody and they've been shown the flag, but they don't point by, they're oblivious, you cannot pass them. Okay? If you pass somebody and they have another point by, you're going to get this. And they're going to go, you wrong, red point by. So again, you'll get frustrated because the guy's just not getting it. Well, you're the blue and yellow flag and he's just la la land. You're behind him, come in and just get with it, won't stay there, more space. This guy's not getting it from me. So we'll follow it around for the next 3 or 4 hours. Yes?
If someone mistakenly gives you a point by where they're not allowed to, you don't pass them, right? Or
No.
you'll get in trouble?
Great question. So what if someone gives you a point by and it's not in one of those 3 areas? You don't take it. Okay? You don't take it. And if they give you a point by and in one of those other areas, but you don't feel comfortable taking it, you don't have to. Okay? You can just go away with their observer and they may see you just because you might go, you know what, I'm kind of fine following this car, it's a good line, I'm just trying to get, I don't want to go past them. But you don't have to. Okay? Any other questions on that? Anybody else? Yes?
Well, so in the lead follow group, if it's not somebody fast that's coming at them, it's just the leader wants to swap position. Is that the same protocol when you put your arm out, the person back coming in front?
Yeah.
Oh, the lead follow, you're not swapping the cars in the group?
We'll change it for the next one.
I see, okay.
Thank you. So the question is there, you've got 5 cars. Are we going to swap positions in there? And we probably will do in the next section. If everything goes well. But for this one, we'll just kind of keep it, Because the goal of this first session is really just to learn the track. Learn the flag stations, know where the flag stations are. If you come back after this next session and you go, yeah, I know where the racing line is, and I've got it in my head a little bit, I know where the flag stations are, and I'm comfortable with the flags. If I see one, I know what I'm supposed to do. That's great. You'll already learned something in that session about your car dynamics, where your opportunities are. So let's talk about your vehicles for a moment. Some reminders here. You may have listened already. Yeah. Sorry, again.
We talk about the green zone for a little bit.
Yeah. So the braking zones for this first section, I wouldn't worry about what's the where are we going to brake. Your lead follow instructor might just adapt the brakes to give you an idea of where you might brake. Braking is going to be very dependent on the car. So some people can brake a lot later than others. And that's why as you go into the course, you'll see sometimes several markers, and you've got to work out, you get more advanced, which is a good braking point for
If
you.
you have a marker with it.
Yeah, well, we're not going to be going at a speed. You probably could go around corners where you don't have to hardly brake at all. Because we're not going to be going that fast. The faster we go, the harder you're going to be to learn that racing. You should be focused on, the lights, the back come out a little bit there. And what you focus on, what's the racing like, really smooth. Make sense? Okay. So let's talk about your car for a moment. Take everything out of your car. Okay. You've got a tool in the trunk. Take that out. Because, again, the weight distribution can affect it. You've got anything in the trunk that's heavy, take it out. Okay. Anything inside your car should be out. Water bottles, mugs, glasses, case, whatever. Because you go over a bump and that thing comes out. Sod's law is it's going to end up right in your foot well. And then when you brake, it's going to go right on your brake pedal. And a water bottle can be a problem. So, and you don't need those distractions with things flying around. So just make sure everything's out of the car. You're probably checking cars already, so plug nuts, tire pressures, you need that, enough gas in your tank, etc. The first session, there's no passengers allowed in with the beginners. So if you have somebody with you, you want to be a passenger, we'll allow that afterwards. The first one, we just want just you in the car, no distractions. Okay? If you do have a passenger later on in the day, there's no handheld phones. Okay, you can use it again.
Right.
But like that, if your passenger's doing that, you're going to get a black flag.
I think just hide it.
So, and if you're doing it, you're really going to get a black flag. Okay. We talked about where to enter and exit the track. What else am I missing, guys? Is that good?
How are we splitting up for the
Okay, let's talk about that. Yeah, and one question just on that that came up at another session was, what about all the things like traction control and the external back stuff on? I keep it all on. Just keep it all on for now. Okay. Don't worry too much about what gear you're in, quality driving manual. You can probably drive around this entire track except for the straight lane here, third gear. Again, what do we want to focus on at the moment is the racing line, the flag stations, and getting comfortable, okay? So don't overly complicate it. You'll have opportunities for the rest of the day. I think that's what we need to do is this for the rest of the day. Okay. Download meeting, yeah. So after this meeting, you're going to go over there and you're going to get a sticker that says you came to this meeting, and they're going to let us say, okay, now you can go out on the track and we can assess it. After we've been out on the track, which is a 20-minute session, begins again at 10:20. So we'll come in at 10:40, we'll be off the track. Park up and come back here. At 10:50, so 10 minutes after that's finished, we're going to come back in here, and we're just going to do a download meeting, okay? You'll be doing a lot more talking than I will at that meeting. It's going to be about your experience, how did it go, what's the challenge, where are the opportunities, what do we learn from that, okay? It'll just take a few minutes to do that. After that meeting, you're going to get another sticker which says you came to the download meeting, and they'll let you out on track in the next session. Any questions?
Do we just put it on our, like, on the
On your windshield. Yeah. Windscreen. Windshield. Not sure if I'm speaking English or American.
Windshield.
Yeah.
Windshield.
Okay, so let me ask this question then. We've got two private students, okay, so you're taken care of, or will be. Who wants to be in the lead follow through, okay? Not mandatory, but we encourage you to do that for the first session. Who does not want to be in a lead follow? Who's been on this track before goes, I'm comfortable, I haven't left the track, and I'm comfortable on the out. Okay, how many?
I can't share my car. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay, okay, so just you, is that the only one? Everybody else is lead follow? Okay. All right. So if you are in that group, you don't need lead follow. You can go now. That's the end of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to split up into the lead follow section. Okay.
I got one more question.
Yes.
Can I take a passenger with me who's a intermediate driver here as my instructor, not lead follow? Because we know the track.
Okay.
Not for a section. So it's either by yourself or lead follow. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
And that's a wrap.